Let's go over the goals of an intake form. I think the intake form is one of the most essential tools that we have as coaches, but a lot of people don't give it the due, the respect it deserves. It's probably the most important thing I find. So every time I speak to a client, and my students will know this, every time someone asks me for some help, I will ask so many questions because I want to find out as much information as I can so I can give the best possible outcome. So the intake form is something that allows me to do that, but without having to really ask the client questions and to go in there with a predictive model. So by being able to predict what the client needs, the client automatically feels better served by me and they trust me more. So it's a really, really good tool, and I highly recommend everyone really pay close attention to their intake forms. So purpose of the intake form is, besides what we use it for with sales and what I've talked about, we do want to identify injury history because that is going to directly influence our programming. Okay. Recognizing past and current injuries means we have to readjust our programming to make sure we don't re-injure the client and also to promote recovery. And you can do that. You need to assess medical conditions and understand what you're dealing with. So we just had a presentation about blood pressure, for example. We need to understand that because that will influence our exercise prescription. So if someone has high blood pressure, we're not going to do high intensity interval training because it's going to spike their blood pressure too high. And we might also avoid exercises with breath holding. So like sets of squats in the 1 to 5 rep range, because we don't want to increase that pressure. Okay. That's something very, very valid that you can look at. With intake form, you can certainly clarify the goal of the client. You can gauge their training experience, which will help you write a better workout. And in particular, for a trial session, give them a better workout that matches their abilities. Analyze their lifestyle and schedule so you can look at what type of program they may need in terms of a time demand, but then also what problems they're going to come into, what challenges they're going to experience, then you can help them go over that. You're going to help evaluate their nutrition and recovery, like look at their sleep, their stress, and how those things could potentially impact their training and their performance, and also to establish expectations of what they want. Really, really, really useful. So when we apply the information correctly, we get a number of things. We get much more customized programs, okay? And the customized program is, we provide a lot of templates in these programs, in this program in particular. And the reason that we do that is because these programs are based on what works for people. The individualization isn't changing what works. It's simply taking away what shouldn't be done for that person. Okay, so what I mean by that, if someone has a disc bulge, they shouldn't do maximal weight deadlifts. Pretty simple. It doesn't mean maximal weight deadlifts are bad. It doesn't mean maximal weight deadlifts won't help them achieve their goals if their goal is getting stronger. It means that we want to give them something that we want to avoid what they can't do. So we want to put them in a position for success. And that's what individualization is. Most good programs work for everybody. It's just that we want to individualize what the client can't do, okay, and get rid of that from the program. We want to address their health concerns proactively. We don't want to just be doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. We want to basically hit a goal for that client, and we want to identify exactly what they need and actually start addressing that concerns with our programming. We want to structure our training logistics based around the client's work routines and demands. We want to enhance communication and support. So we want people to know that we are aware of their challenges and we're starting to address them. We want to boost their confidence because we want them to see that we've actually put the effort into it, and we want to monitor and adjust our progress based on what's important to them as according to the intake form. Okay. So this is how we leverage it and optimize it. We ensure clarity and relevance. All the questions need to be relevant to them. Digital platforms, Google Forms, Typeform, Kahunas, use them because then you can get people to fill in the intake form before they get there, and you can basically read through it and evaluate it before you get there, setting up your assessment for more success. You can get detailed responses in there, so open-ended questions are really, really good and give people room to write. You can update forms over time based on what's going on with the client, and it certainly should be incorporated into onboarding. It's one of the most important things you can do. So it's not just a questionnaire. It's not just something you have to do. It is a really important thing to get the best experience for your clients. So make sure you watch the next 3 presentations on intake form, apply the information, and you're going to get far better results and a far higher close rate for your clients.